please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Sorry for no content yesterday, I had a bit of a migraine. It was less than ideal. There was a new video on Omegon 2 and I had over the weekend made some shorts on the Halls of Injustice and uploaded one to Not Worth a Cork in fact. Today we're going to look at the, let's say, guaranteed no coming back of Keffals and Tipster. Because on Twitter, Discord messages are being leaked, obviously their tweets behind blocks, I can't see them, have been shared about. They've said a few rather interesting things and I thought let's talk about that. Firstly, Keffals' channel, pretty much dead in the water, nothing really happening on that front. No new shorts, no new lives, only videos from 5 months ago. In the case of Tipster, if you search for his channel name, the first 3 options are Nick Diorio, Gamma, and Sensitive Society. I'm 4th. If you then go channels on the filter, you don't get Tipster. If you then do Tipster Live, you eventually get Tipster. And his content, well, he is uploading, well, he took a 2-week break, but he's uploading, or recently discussing the Assassin's Creed Shadows, is that what it's called? The Japan-themed video game that's far too expensive. I might do more coverage on that in the exhibition of Stupid People this week, because it's hilarious to me just how far they're willing to go, and a discussion for another day. Tipster, as far as YouTube goes, hasn't been the most active. He hasn't really been using his community tab, he's not really been streaming much on his main channel, instead focusing on Twitch, where he does get some viewers, which is great, because he'll need that, since his YouTube channel is all but at this point done. There isn't really much in the way of a coming back for him, short of him finally doing the one thing that might well help repair the damage. However, we now know for a fact when it happened to someone like Def Noodles, who did realise the error of his ways, there wasn't a coming back because there was a lack of forgiveness. Time is the only thing that would actually help him, Tipster that is. The same for Def Noodles of course in the future. In the case of Tipster though, his ham-hock hands are still firmly placed around the sides of his ears to ensure no sound can enter them, well beyond accepting messages from the likes of Keffals and someone called Cherry and a few other people as well that Tipster is willing to engage with, some of which we're going to go through today because it's fascinating to me that he still really does not get this. Just how wrong it is what Keffals has done and why it is and will remain a massive deal. Recently, Some Ordinary Gamer's video exposing Keffals, which has done exceedingly well on views, was used as a source by the Young Turks, who have now fully disavowed Keffals because, well, while I myself have been called a grifter on a number of occasions, it turns out there are some who are pro-god tier level. If I'm a grifter for getting $20 in a stream, what is it when someone manages to get $100,000 based on a lie?
Back in 2022, TYT covered a story involving a transgender streamer named Clara Sorrenti, who goes by Keffals. Now, at the time, she had alleged that she had been violently swatted by anti-trans harassers on a platform called Kiwi Farms. Many elements to the story ended up being false, and we unwittingly helped her promote her fraudulent crowdfunding effort.
Many of us aren't overly fond of the Young Turks for their political commentary predominantly going towards the left. However, when they are right on a subject, they are right regardless. And it is right that many on all political sides, wings, angles, movements, agree on something every once in a while. In this, the majority agree Keffals is a fraud, but Tipster can't just let that go, can he? And we'll get to proof of that soon. First though, because we're going to go in order of when I posted these to a tab I used to collect sources, Keffals on Twitter. I already made my intentions clear that I retired from the YouTube drama space, and I have no intention of relitigating 2-year-old drama because a gamer with big sub count thinks I owe him my time or attention. This being a reference to Muta. You quit the YouTube drama space because you couldn't hack it when the lens was firmly placed on you. You won't relitigate 2-year-old drama because it turns out you scam people out on $100,000 and blew it all. The sub count of the gamer in question is utterly irrelevant. You are just using it as a victim card to say that Muta is punching down. By that definition, I am also punching down when I address you and Tipster, since you're both smaller than me, which is hardly a surprise. Quality over quantity, am I right? No, quantity over quality, isn't it with me? You know, it doesn't matter. Somebody took the liberty of looking at Keffals' Patreon. On that, well, according to this image, there's a fairly decent amount of monthly income from that. I'm a bit jealous. But it's the second image that, well, has everyone's attention. For $100,000 a month, you have the tier Christery tax. You will get the full unedited interview with Christian. Otherwise, I will never release it and it will remain lost media forever. If it's okay with you, you can keep it because Count Dankula has done interviews with Christian. We don't need your version because honestly, who would want to listen to your monotone voice when they can listen to mine instead? And why would they want to listen to the insanity that you would undoubtedly enable in that interview? It's not worth $100,000 because on your channel it would barely get 5,000 views. The only reason you set it at $100,000 is so that you can pay back the GoFundMe scam, which is exactly what it was, a scam. You're up there with the telemarketers of old and the current Minecraft gamers on TikTok. Congratulations! Vaunted and rather high esteemed company. Now just to quickly go back where I mentioned the Young Turks disavowing, right? Over on the YouTube drama Reddit, some people weren't best impressed. So focusing on the important stuff, got it. Political commentary for those who don't know. Reply, it was a retraction correction of a story which is possibly the most important thing a journalist must do. Like what everybody else should have done, instead we're giving a lesson in how certain people act when given an opportunity to dunk on her. They boosted her story about taking on kiwi farms and her GoFundMe. This is more of a retraction on that story, which is something I wish more news networks did when they ran a BS story. Reply, I genuinely don't think this is something worth rehashing a full video on for what this is. Coming from someone who doesn't like Keffals and thinks that what she did was stupid and very bad. So if you cover someone, introduce them to your viewers, ask them to donate to their cause, and then you discover the person's a fraud, you just pretend you didn't know the person. I don't know, a retraction seems nice. Wish more people would do that. And is this what passes for news nowadays? Corrections and retractions are one of the most important things a news service can do. I wonder if this goes after her weird birthing person transphobia hissy fit. Yeah, it'd be great for someone to make a video on Keffals' garbage that isn't from a transphobe or edgy centrist or something. Any excuse to pigeonhole people, am I right, folks? It's basically impossible because every time someone tries, they get given a folder from a certain website, which is tainted with original sin. No one can effing do it. Even the trans people who try, and yes, these idiots on Reddit don't know grammar, start becoming pick-me's because they start getting harassed by that certain website. Maybe Demon Mama can do it in one of her Drama Mama streams, but I don't think it's possible. If she tries, she'll probably fail. I love the excuses given by those on Reddit who just so desperately are the quitter type. Oh, just move on, get on with it, come on, give us the good stuff, the important things, not the Kufals nonsense. I think you'll find the conversation surrounding what Keffals did is incredibly important because it shows a manipulation from an influencer who then used other people's platforms to fill their coffers with additional coin that they were not worthy of, in turn potentially poisoning the well with the other communities. And that's important because you have to protect yourself as well. And sometimes you have to step out and say, okay, we can't allow this because if we let this go, we're going to get caught in the blast radius. The AOE is going to be through the fecking roof and we're going to get caught in it.
I was contemplating when I should just start streaming again. And I figured I may as well just rip the band-aid off and go back to streaming. It's cool how many random people showed up to an unannounced stream after a 2-month hiatus. I don't know what I was expecting. Honestly, actually, I was expecting more people to be angry. No, I didn't mean angry from the people who actually want to be here. I just meant angry from drama freaks.
In this instance, you can safely say that what Keffals really means by this is, can someone go get the drama freaks? I need more randos in my chat. I like how you sound bored, ungrateful, and high all at once.
Well, I think honestly it was because I didn't respond.
You are a fool to oppose.
There was nothing to really. There's nothing you could really I don't even know how to like say what I'm trying to say.
You'll find the reason why is because your vocabulary is limited because of how intellectually stunted you are. The reason you didn't engage is because your legal action has failed. As proven in more recent videos I have done, the statute of limitations has exceeded, meaning you're not going anywhere with any of what you claim to have done. And you have been exposed as 100% being a fraud. Your victim cards don't work. All you have is streaming to the dwindling audience you have.
Yeah, no, I'm not planning on making any sort of response because I don't think I owe anyone a response.
In this, you're right. You don't owe anyone a response. What you owe is $100,000 in donations. That's what you owe, and that should be returned because what you have committed is fraud. It is theft. You wasted it and squandered it, and I'm sure some people don't mind that their dearest darling Keffy Poop has their shekels. But the reality is, you're a thief. You don't owe a response. You owe $100,000. When you make a mistake or you do something inherently wrong, the past will be brought back up and used against you to prove a point. Willie Mac tweeted out this image from Keffals on Discord. My background isn't content creation. I'm not great at what I do. I'm honestly too sincere to be good at it. I'm too authentic to simply be an actor who makes videos online. My background is political organizing, and if there's anything I'm good at, it's building community. Xylee had replied with this image though. Look, I'm used to being relentlessly stalked online for obsessive, hateful freaks, so I'm never 100% honest even to my own audience, because my own vulnerabilities are being used against me. But the last week I keep breaking down crime because I'm processing all the effed up things that have happened to me since March of last year, and how cruel people have been. I haven't been sleeping right as a result. When you yourself cannot be honest with those closest to you, and you admit to it, it's hard to take anything you say with any level of serious. You become, you start to, tread into the area of Chris Chan, where everything you say could well come from a parallel dimension, a merge that may well take place in the near future, where you finally attain your goddess status of Rosechew. Chris the Incel Narc had tweeted out a few message logs that I thought I'd like to share now that insert Tipster into the conversation. Everyone is always on your ass about the GoFundMe, but so many of these people use GoFundMe anytime they get the sniffles, it's crazy. And do you know what many use the GoFundMe for when they raise money to help themselves with medical bills? They use it on the sodding medical bills. I in the past have done it for vet bills, and I used it on vet bills, and then when I got permission because there was any left over, if there was any left over that is, I used it to buy a mountain of dog treats. Continuing, you have Keldoge, Hainsworth, somebody Chan, Beardy, everyone having conversations about this, essentially agreeing that there's no real point talking about this because, why bother? There's also been a conversation about, I believe, Tipster's sexuality, because I think Tipster had earlier in the year identified as pansexual, which can happily be reduced down to the word horny, as if that wasn't known already. One must have as many options available, and I'm not going to deride or be derogatory towards his preferences in the slightest. Not my business. Some message logs that did their rounds, though, are of Tipster oversharing back in, is this February? Talking about, having a dream about starting HRT, which has been mocked to high hell, of course, more notably by Boblax. Tipster's new pronouns are large and meal, streamed on the Mayo Monkey Boblax channel because Boblax is a blasted heathen that likes mayonnaise, which shouldn't surprise anyone in the slightest. I assume in the not so distant future, Tipster will reignite the YouTube channel and start on a brand new journey to find more love because the goth mummies are no longer giving it to him. Not that they ever were in the first place. Why would? When you're both ugly on the outside and the inside, even the goth girls know they can't fix you, which is often why they go for chubby guys.